this is Pastor Bonnie, and we are going to try to do some resin coasters. I did a video recently about the little resin orbs and the resin rings, but this is one I've been really wanting to try. So you can see we've got baby wipes, we've got a fire starter and scissors. These are our alcohol inks, and then this is our resin. And so there are two different bottles, one's resin and one's hardener. And then we have some really pretty sparkly glitter. And then I went for a walk today and had so much fun getting these natural elements. So I'm going to try one of them clear and just put this in them and see what they look like. Then we have some gold and silver leaf. And then we have our little stir stick. And this is just like a big giant toothpick to poke stuff in. And so it's actually a really easy process. What you do with this is art and glue. I actually bought this on Amazon, and this is the mold I'm going to be using. And I want you to notice, see how shiny the surface is, and that's what we want, because the surface, the shinier it is, the clearer the resin will be. So these came out as perfect. I just got this in the mail from Amazon today. I did read the reviews, and this is kind of flimsy, so it's going to be, I have to be really careful to demold it, and I'll show you guys that when we get ready to do it. So the first thing we're going to do, we have our two little measuring cups. I'm going to fill, you can see it's, well, these are cloudy because I've been using them, but I'm going to do 1 ounce of each and mix them together, and I'll show you that. So I'll show you a little tip. The hardener, see it's thick, but it's not as thick as the resin. So I pour the hardener into the resin. And we'll just let it all go in. The secret to having these projects, and I will say this, I'm learning right along with you guys, because I have never done this before. I only did, like I did my previous video, but prior to that, I have never done it. So they came out beautiful too. If you haven't seen that video, it shows you how to make the little resin orbs. They're little marble size with little, they're beautiful. They look like they have little worlds inside of them. And the jewelry came out really pretty. Excuse me. So when you stir it, I want you to notice as you begin to stir it, it makes like these really fine, the resin, I don't know if you can see it, but it almost looks like spider webs. And see, it's cloudy, it looks opaque. So you really have to stir it for a full 5 minutes. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll set my timer, then I'll come back and I'll show you what it looked like. As you can see, it makes a ton of bubbles in here. And no worries, I'm going to show you how to get rid of those. And I meant to tell you, I wiped these off with the baby wipes, the lids, because the lids will stick. That was kind of a tip that I learned. The fire starter, what I've learned is you just, you can use the flame and get rid of the bubbles, but I'm going to wait till I actually pour it in the mold. So we're going to pour it next, and I'll show you how to get rid of those. But see how it's all nice and clear? And I meant to tell you guys, I'll put the links for the products that I used. I bought all of them on Amazon, and I also, well, except for the glitter. This I actually bought at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, I can't remember. I have their apps on my phone, just a pro tip, but if you use their apps, you can get a 40% off coupon. So I got the glitter for $2 because I used my coupon. So what I'm going to do, we're going to pour it into the first mold. Yes, I don't want it to be the full thickness, but this looks like it's probably going to be just about right, what I wanted. I'm going to turn the phone off for just a minute, and I will get the rest out of the plastic cup, and then I'll show you how I get rid of it. So I know this is going to be hard to see, but you take the little flame and you just do it across the top, and it will get rid of, it'll pop those bubbles. And I know it's hard to see on here, but I'm going to go ahead and do it, and then I'll turn it back on so you can see it after. See, we got rid of most of them, and I've learned if you kind of wait, the few that are on the bottom will rise to the surface. Like you can see there's some like right there. So I'm going to pass it back through in just a minute, but I got rid of just about all of them, which is really good. We're going to be trying out these alcohol inks, and I will tell you the white is really the secret ingredient, because what we're going to do is drop these on, and I have pink, purple, and green for this one. We're going to, what you do is you drop the solid colors first, and then you put the white on top, and the white pushes it down, and it gives you just some really cool effects. And I tried it with the little orb jewelry that I made, but I haven't tried it on a big piece like this, so I'm kind of excited to do it. So we're going to start with the purple. Purple is my favorite color. And you see how the alcohol and the ink just makes it disperse. And then we take the white and we put it over on top of it. And I'm going to leave some of the edges kind of clear, just to have it kind of look kind of cool. But look at, isn't that a cool effect? It's just, I just think it's so fun to watch this. And then we're going to try some of the pink over the top of it. And then I'm going to put some white on top of that. The white was really hard to find. I went to 3 stores and I could not find it anywhere. I went to Hobby Lobby, I went to Michael's, I went to Walmart, and they were sold out of it. So it must be really popular for people to use. So I finally had to order that online on Amazon too. And then we might do, just gonna keep it with the purple. So it kind of looks sort of funny now, but you can see it's spreading. I kind of like to take the little stick and sort of drag it just to make kind of a cool pattern. And I want to show you something fun that I tried with some glitter. Actually, I think I was going to use the white glitter. I think I'm actually going to use silver, but I'm going to show you in just a minute. I have a surprise for you. We're actually going to make it sort of look like a nebula. And these will be like the little stars. I'll show you in just a minute. And I'm only doing the top layer. I'm not going down very deep. So I have silver and gold, and I'm really sorry you guys, the lighting is not that great, but we'll do what we can. And so it kind of just sits on the top, and that's actually what I want. And then we're going to take the gold. That's my little grandson. He's about 4 months old. He's not a happy camper. I went back and I dropped some more of the white, and then I put the pink on top of it, and I'm just letting it sort of spread around. And the glitter, I'm just going to leave it alone and we'll see what it does. But you can see around the edges, I purposely left it clear. This will take 18 to 24 hours to harden. One of the other molds I actually had to put the mold in the freezer to get the piece out, and I suspect that's probably what I'll have to do with this one too. So we will see tomorrow what this is going to look like. I thought it was done, but I want to add some of these little gold and silver flakes. And I will tell you, these are hard to work with. So I think what I'll do, I'll drop some on there. Kind of poke it down there. These little foil I got on Amazon as well. If you go to the nail art, that's where I found them. They have all kinds of miniature things. That's where I got flowers and all kinds of really pretty things. They're like gold and silver flakes. I just want to make them have just a little touch. I hope they'll show. We will see if they do. You get on your fingers. I think I'm going to leave it well enough alone. It kind of looks sort of funny right now, but we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. My husband and I got to go on this really fun nature hike, and I found these really pretty. These are beautiful dried grasses from the prairie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just put them in here as a clear element. And actually I got rid of the bubbles. I did the same thing as I did before, but I see there's more bubbles, so I need to get rid of those first before I put them in there. So what I'm going to do first is we'll take this one, just put that one in the center, and then we're going to push it down into the resin. And I want to make sure it's all the way in. What I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to come back with a layer of the glitter. We'll see what it looks like, but because you can tell it isn't quite deep enough to push this down in, but I want to let it harden for a few minutes before I come back with the second layer. So that works just fine. But we're going to push it down in. And try to get that stem down in there. Okay. And I love these little berries, actually. Get to the bottom. There's just some beautiful pink berries I found. These were some really pretty natural elements. And let's see what happened. I had some berry grass. So the cool part is, because of the time of year, this stuff is already dried. I probably should have flattened it before I put it in there, because you can see it's wanting to kind of rise back up, but that's okay because we're going to pour another layer over it. But it's just simple and pretty. These these are the little nail flowers I was telling you about. And I've got this beautiful little blue one that I want to put in. These are colored on one side, so I'm just going to dip into that and pick it up. See, it's not as pretty on the other side. So you want to make sure you put the colored side down into the resin. And then I have some more. It looks like a little bouquet of flowers. I just think they're so pretty. They're starting to set down in there a little better. So I thought that would just add just a simple, pretty little element to it. So you can see that I poured another batch. I got the bubbles out. Some of the stuff is floating to the top, so I don't know if it's going to be smooth. We'll see. I may have to keep pushing it down in there. It's a little harder than I thought. But I like it. I think it's pretty. And then I'm going to take some of these, the glitter, and I saved a little bit out, and I'll show you in a minute. I mixed the glitter together. You can see just in a small amount. And then what I'm going to do, and I have no idea what this is going to come out like, everyone. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do is just drop it along the flowers and the berries. I kind of have to laugh as I look at that because it kind of looks like frog eggs on a pond. So I may regret my little glitter in here, but we will see what it looks like after it hardens a little bit. And that's the fun of this. Sometimes I love the projects and they come out and they surprise me, and sometimes I hate them. So we will see what this one's going to be like. I will see you guys about 18 hours from now and we'll see what we have. I did not like the berries because they kept floating to the top. So what I did is I went and just sprinkled a whole bunch of glitter all over the top. So we will see if we can even see the little pieces that are in there. I have no idea what this is going to look like. And that's the fun part. It's almost like unwrapping presents or Christmas. I will see you tomorrow. This is the funnest part. So these have been curing all night. It's been about 13 hours. So I'm going to see if we can get these out. So you have to kind of work your way around the edge. And it looks like it's going to come out nicely. So what I'm going to do, you loosen it, see, so that it sort of breaks the seal all the way around. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will take them out and show you what they look like. So here's the first one, and then when we flip it over, let's see if I can put it where you can see it. It's kind of cool looking. It just has like a little hint of the flowers and stuff in it. I kind of like that. I'm actually going to use these as a base. I'm going to make a jewel tree. Actually, I'll show you what they look like. I'm walking around my office, but these are the jewel trees that I make. And so my plan is to attach them to the base, to these acrylic bases instead of this white base. But that's my goal. So we're going to walk back over. Sorry, I'm making you guys dizzy. So actually, I kind of like it. It looks three-dimensional. The edges, this part's kind of rough, so you can see that it's, actually you can look inside, that's actually kind of cool looking. I trimmed this part off with scissors, and then I sand it down and to make it nice and smooth. But I really like that one, how it came out. That's real pretty. And then we're gonna see what this one looks like. Get this one. And I'll stop it for just a minute. These actually came out much easier than I thought they were going to. And let's see what this one looks like. This one was the one we did with the inks. So here's the top. And there's the underside. That's so cool looking. Just really like it. And then when you look inside, it actually looks like a cool little world in there. I'll see if it'll focus on it. And then I'm going to take some pictures out in the sunlight, just get some better pictures of them, and I'll post them so you can see. But it's a really fun technique, and I like both sides. This side kind of looks like a nebula. That's exactly what I was going for. And then you can look inside. And then the other one is thicker. I almost think I like the thicker one better. And it's kind of cool to look inside that one too. I'm not sure if I like the sparkles. I kind of do. But I wonder what it would have looked like without them. So we'll try some more another day. But I've really enjoyed spending the time with you, and I'm gonna put together some pictures for you, and then we'll be finished. But this has really been a fun project. Well, I wanted to show you what these look like out in the sunlight, and they really came out pretty. And I really wanted to thank you guys for spending the time with me. It was delightful sharing how to do it, and I hope you will try it yourself. It's really not as hard as it looks. And the cool part is you really can make a special memory, like the little grasses I got. I had gone on a walk with my husband, and we spent just a beautiful day together. We were walking along the trail, and the grasses were dried, and we actually went along the prairie where it was just a big open field, and we got to listen to a hawk. And so here's some pictures from that memory, and it was just so special to get to be together. And life is busy, and sometimes it can be hard, and he just gave me a peck on the cheek, and we walked down the trail and enjoyed it. And so I want to really encourage you, take the time to enjoy the moments that you're given with those that you love. Take the time to really stop and smell the roses and enjoy the gifts that you've been given. And sometimes the best gifts don't have to cost anything. The gifts of time and love and spending time with loved ones. Because honestly, when we think about our lives, the things that we treasure the most are the people that we love. So you can use this little resin tutorial to capture memories. And this actually was a hawk, I wanted to tell you, and it was so pretty hearing him in the tree. So I thought you might enjoy seeing that picture. And then this was actually the prairie with the long grasses. You know, it just was such a peaceful, beautiful day, and we had a pretty little surprise that we didn't expect. So God bless, enjoy the memories, have fun, and thank you so much for being a part.